Welcome to 7th semester and we are going to start design of reinforced concrete structure. Here we have some reference books like Illustrate Design of Reinforced Concrete Building by Curve and Sa. The next book is Advanced Reinforced Concrete Design by N. Krishnaraju, from which we we get our most basic content of retaining wall and shear wall and water tank. Next book is Reinforced Concrete Design by Pillai and Memon. Most important books, and I refer you. The book is Dr. H.J. Shah, Reinforced Concrete Volume 1 and Volume 2. From Volume 2, we get our whole syllabus covered in that Volume 2. So I prefer you S.J. Shah for study material. Next book of B.C. Punamia is about advanced RCC design. Also, we get all our content covered by this B.C. Punamia book. The next book is about advanced reinforced concrete by Varghese, and the last book of reinforced concrete design Sinha. All books are reference books and we get all our syllabus from each and every book. But here for knowledge purpose and exam purpose, we have to choose a one book for our better reference. In case of any some chapter difficult in particular book, we can refer other book like retaining wall and water tank are easy to understand from SJSR, but in some other modules are very easy in Krishna Raju book. Have a look at our syllabus. Design of reinforced concrete structure is mainly divided in 5 parts, which are building, layout and design, in which we learn load combinations, how many types of load in building, how they load perform, how they load behave, how to use among this load, how to take precaution from that load, and how to take our building very strong from this load, that the load not collapse our building. Here we have to take some IS standards for loading conditions and precautions of load, because the IS standard are Indian Standard Marco, which is standardized by government. So with the help of this IS standard, we design the building and take the proper safety of the building. Now we are going to look load, distribution of load, flow of load, lateral loads due to wind and seismic load, types of load like dead load, live load, wind load, seismic load, isolated load, snow load, blood load, etc. But as per Indian standard. Load combinations. During the design of any building, we have to select some load combination and design a building with the help of this load combination. But selecting the load combination by not any manual or any random method. It is selected by only IS standard method. From IS code 456 and 800, we get we get our load combination. Guideline for preparation of structure, layout of building, analysis design, and detailing of G+3 RC frame building for residential commercial purpose and including ductile detailing. Here in this chapter we learn how to make an structural plan from the architecture plan. We have to decide the particular pattern for putting the column and beam grid for on our layout. Like any building, there is a n number of column and n number of beams are available, but we have to put that number to know about particular beam and to get particular column to easy reading and easy understanding for that civil engineer which are working on site. The next is analysis and design. In structure analysis, we all learn about analysis. There is the different types of analysis with different types of methods. We use that method and get our design with particular body. In this chapter, we have an example of G+3 RC frame building in which we cover our all data and element of structure design like foundation, column, beam, slab, and connection of beam, connection of slab, one-way slab, two-way slab, same as one-way continuous slab, two-way continuous frame, and how to design any frame building is learned in this chapter. The building is no matter residential or commercial. Here we have a word ductile detailing. From this IS Indian Standard Marco, we have an code 13920, a ductile detailing code, in which we have idea of how to put steel in beam and column and how to bind it and how it's behave. So we get the quantity of steel and quantity of concrete equal. Otherwise, the building is collapse. Next chapter is about retaining wall. We heard word retaining wall. To retain a material from one side to other side. The material is whatever soil, coal, concrete, water, any liquid body, any solid body, or any gas body. In this chapter, we look about types of retaining wall, behavior of retaining wall at instant and different level, like retaining wall with full backfill, retaining wall with half backfill, retaining wall with both side filling, retaining wall with one side liquid filling, other side sand filling. Thus, different behavior we have to study in this chapter. And application of retaining wall, how to apply, where to apply, how much length of the retaining wall, length, width, size, types of concrete, grade of steel, all things are learned in this chapter. And then we have to check some criteria like stability checks, sliding, throwing, etc. Then design and detailing of cantilever and counterfort type retaining wall. This, these both type of retaining wall are difficult designed repetitive types of retaining wall for various and good condition. Now The third is design of water tank. In this chapter, we know, we learned classification of water tank and method of analysis, permissible stress, model provision for design of water tank, design of circular and rectangular water tank with different shapes and size, with height, underground, overground, above the height, etc. But using the IS method. In India, we have choose Indian standard method to prove the Indian standard government nominates and to get proper work under government body. The next step is design of elevated water tank with inch type or container type frame and shaft type or staging and foundation considering effect of earthquake and windfall. Whenever we design inch tank, we have to consider wind load and earthquake load simultaneously because the height of retaining wall is high and also its upper body is comparatively large than the lower body. Next module is about flat slab. We already learned slab, but the flat slab is totally different from the normal slab. When the width of slab greater than 200 mm, it's called flat slab because at that stage we can't design a slab as a normal slab but design the slab as a beam, like a whole beam continuously slabbed at that slab. So it's called flat slab. There is no need to beam and no other element to load transfer mechanism. Flat slab transfer load slab to direct column. There is no need to any beam and any other structural element. Have a look at flat slab. Direct design method, distribution of moments in column, strip and middle strip moment, and shear transfer from slab to column, shear in flat slab, check for one-way slab and two-way slab, shear checks, limitations of direct and design method, introduction to equivalent frame method. The last chapter about design of reinforced concrete structure is earthquake resistance design. Nowadays, earthquake is a major problem. So, a structure engineer have to design any building about 3 floors compulsory about earthquake resistance. The word earthquake resistance is very difficult because earthquake intensity may be 5 or 10, maybe more. But we have to try our nominal earthquake intensity and take it into design and then design by the particular philosophy. Have a look what we learned in earthquake resistant design for building. Earthquake resistant design philosophy, capacity, design concept, 4 virtues of earthquake resistant design, strength, stiffness, ductility, and configuration, irregularities in structure, lateral load, distribution of lateral load, torsionally coupled and uncoupled system, seismic coefficient, method of ductile detailing as per 13920. As I already mentioned above, ductile detailing is very important in each and every building. But when it is talk about earthquake resistant design, then the ductile detailing is not necessary but compulsory. In next lecture, we are starting our module retaining wall.